Eat fruit. Eat fruit and mind your business. Yes, I did not get the things ready for this week, but it's okay. We gonna get it through. We gonna make
We're
it.
gonna do what it do.
Right. So good morning, good afternoon, good night, guys, and welcome to another week's episode of Eat Fruit Pod. I'm your girl Kay.
And I'm Natasha Renee.
And it has been, as I said, like it's Black History Month, but like people are turning up. The more I think like black people are gonna chill a little bit. We've been turning up a little bit too much. I'm like, guys, let's get back to our resolutions and focusing on our goals
Yes.
and all the things we had for our business. It's getting very, very messy out there. But I will say, how was your week, Natasha?
I've been on the road all weekend, back and forth up to Philly, back down here. So yeah, I'm a little tired over here from all that running around.
It's
How was your
okay.
week? And
It's gonna be okay. You will make it. You're almost there at moving stage. You're getting
I didn't
everything
even get
done.
to that part. I
You're
didn't even
almost
get to
there.
that.
You're almost there. Remember, you packed, you've done things, so you're not like at ground zero, you know?
It's gonna feel like it, but I'm ready.
No, oh my gosh. My week was good. Like I've just been, as I said, trying to stick to my resolutions and goals
Mm-hmm.
and just working through that. Uh it's been an eventful week, things I can't really talk about,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm really excited for everything that is to come. So I thank God for his blessings. Yeah. And I also made some wicked beef soup this weekend. And it was just like, that's all I wanted. Like when people say, oh, they don't like soup, I'm like, you've never had like Jamaican people soup. Like, I don't know what we do to the soup. It don't touch no blender, none of that. Like, it's just like I don't know. So I had enough pumpkin in there, turnip,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
squash, sweet potato, celery. Yeah, it was banging. Okay. Hit the soul.
minus the beef. I would
The
have to
beef
try
was,
it.
yeah, no, but yeah, I guess you couldn't have the stock. But yeah, it was delicious. I'm sure I can make it like just as yummy if it was like straight vegan. Yeah.
Okay.
But a highlight of my weekend, I'm not even gonna hold y'all. I'm gonna get right into fruit salad this week, was the Power season finale, Power Book 2 Ghost season finale. All right.
Yes.
What were your thoughts on the season finale? Was it giving what it needed to give?
I was shocked at the end. Poor baby. You had like
Spoiler
the
alert,
person who,
spoiler alert to
yes.
everybody. I waited. I'm not waiting no more. So we gonna talk about it.
So yeah, I didn't think Zeke was gonna die. I really thought he was gonna like tell on Monet. I really did. I thought he was gonna snitch, but in the end, he died in the hands of his father. But I I didn't like it, but then I felt like how Tyreek killed Ghost and that, but not one, that was purposely done. But now a father has killed his son
Well, it wasn't his
trying
son.
to, well, yeah, oh no, it was, I forgot, Monet's dad, I'm sorry, stepdaddy, because he thought he was killing, Zeke's father. So yeah, that was interesting. Tasha, her little 5 minutes of fame back on. So I mean, that was good to Tyreek, as far as his sister, I forget her name because now she has a part. Before, you didn't know who the baby was. What's the little girl's name? His
Diana.
sister. No, Tyreek's sister.
Oh,
See?
her new name. She knows her new name. It's something like that.
But yeah, but it was good that, he made the adult decision to let her be back with her mother.
Well, it's not even let. They weren't even like, as far as we know, watching the episodes. It's not even like they were telling him that was an option. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
Tamika, she came in, she did what needed to be done. And I am happy that like that's what ended up happening because we already know Tariq's gonna have to go back out there and do bare things.
Yeah.
And now that we've seen that Rodriguez is back and she caught him on
Yes.
the
Oh
camera,
my
it's gonna
gosh.
be a whole nother whirlwind. So definitely excited to see what happens next. Let's just talk about like Michael Rainey Jr.'s like growth, right? Because
Yeah.
when it started, like literally we hated him. Everybody was like, beat his ass, Ghost, like you're picking your blood, like all the things, you know what I mean? Until it turned to now we were all like rooting for Tariq, like and that just speaks to how much he's grown like as an actor literally before our eyes. And like I definitely
because everybody hated Tariq. Everybody hated
including
Tariq
myself.
From like, because even when they gave him the show, I was like, hey, I don't want to watch this. I don't care about you. But then I was like, let me watch it. And like I said, the first season, it was just like, but this season they did great. The writing was great. The action, like the suspense, everything was great with this season.
Yeah. So I also want to delve back to the fact of like, if there's one thing I learned from this like episode and finale, Black people, we really need to stick to the plan and listen to each other, okay? Because everything was
Diana,
sorted.
don't look in the bag.
Everything was sorted out. Everything was sorted out. And like literally, had Diana not Diana'd, you know what I mean? Because like she didn't even think it through to be like, okay, if my dad sees that there's an escape plan for all of us, but not for him, which she's done because you yourself said you knew about this and you knew that, you know, you and Monet, Lorenzo had your one-on-one, you had a conversation, you agreed family first. Monet is like, don't ever question me. Lorenzo's like, got you. But yet still, after she told you she's going to be the one to murk Mecca, aka Dante Spears, you still, as a male, could not like just put your ego aside and let the plan roll through. And like you said, the writing, everything has really built up because they got me. When the scene when everybody was getting back to the house, I'm like, watch, Monet's gonna come and Lorenzo's not at the house. And then he came through quick time. So I was like, all right, everything's gonna kind of like work out, because honestly, I wasn't even clear on if Zeke was really murdered. I seen him get the shots. I seen even the pilot was strapped up, ready to go, you know, but like, I was actually shocked that he didn't, you know, make it through. And like you said, when he got that news and we seen him lie for Monet, you know, even when he went to the station and then ended up going to the PJ runway and decided to go with his family, you know, that was just
because I thought even with that part, I thought he was going to get in an accident or something, or you know, like shot, but I wasn't expecting that. And then like you said, him going there like to be on her side, that shows a lot of his loyalty to her regardless of what she does.
And it's just like wow. Even like more parts of the plan that people weren't sticking to. Kane would not have had to pull up to the school to rescue you, Drew, if you stuck to the plan. And you're lucky he got there literally in the nick of time, like the nick of time. And, you know, somebody was saying it's possible that Everett could be an undercover, which was his little boo thing at the school. And I'm like, I'm kind of like not.
No, because he, in the beginning, he was on the team. Like, nobody knew who Zeke was associated with. I mean, kind of they did.
Well, they were roommates.
Yeah, they were roommates. But I'm saying as far as Monet, because if you think, she showed her face for games. And even the kids weren't in his room until Tariq came.
Man,
that's the only time that you saw them is because of Tariq.
Yeah, and it was just like, Diana, you are now Tariq to me. Like, I do not like you, and you're such an amazing actor, young lady. But back to the story, you know, where it's just like, Diana, you already blew up the spot. You're already crying about nobody likes you. When she literally took Tariq's live to like open his phone and get the QR code, I was like, diabolical. Like no, like this cannot happen, you know. Moving forward now into even like Sax now siding with the DA Ting, and after she dissed him, and I'm just like, Sax, are you ever going to learn from like your past mistakes, and your hands are way dirtier than you're even letting this girl know about.
Everybody, yes.
You put a fake listening device, or not fake, a listening device in your niece's school supply bag.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Because he's so determined to get Tariq or Ghost or just that whole family.
Yep. So I would say amazing episode. You guys got me. I'm locked in and loaded for the next season. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Great acting by everyone. Tasha was kind of like pissed me off just a little bit, even though we didn't get a lot of her, but she was already like annoying me. Because I was just like, is that you at the door?
What is that? Yeah.
And like Dante being, you know, and I also tried to say to myself, okay, what would have happened if they'd gone through it with Dante? You know, they all would have been under the jail. So I'm happy that like either way, they would have had to try to kill him, I feel. Yeah. Because
they had to.
He's clearly working, even though they didn't know, but he is clearly working with the feds, was a fed, whatever. So it's like when he took them to whatever destination they were going to, the feds were going to swarm them at some point. And it just makes sense as to why he had all this product and everything. Like, and a lot of people
why he was the kingpin.
A lot of people be forgetting police do get their hands dirty to get the job done as well.
Yep. That's true.
I'm still on the fence. Do you think Effie killed Lauren?
I'm on the fence only because they said, but I mean, I thought Lauren threw the money. I mean, Effie threw the money back at, what's his name? Yep. But I guess I was wrong.
Yeah.
She did?
Yep.
Okay. Because that's why when they said they found money on her.
No, like, you're right. She did it. She punched her, put her in the car, and found the money.
And threw the car. That's what I'm like. I knew she threw some money somewhere. I was trying to figure it out. But I think she did.
Yeah.
Only because of when she went back that night and how her face was. But then it's like, I guess it could have been, oh, I let her go. I was doing something nice.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
No.
When Tariq finds out that Effie, low-key, I feel like Tariq kind of had an inclining and knew, and that's why he didn't leave it to be like, in case I go in, can you look for my sister? He's just like, you know what? Let me just see what I can do with Tamika and just get my mom with my sister, because these hoes ain't loyal. I felt Tariq saying that. Like, because seriously, like, imagine now he's gone to jail and has to rely
on
Effie.
You could be right, because he knows that Effie is about the streets. She's about that life.
She already sent him a choke. Yeah.
Yeah. For her to be faithful. I mean, he knows his mom. So the women, you are right. All the women that minus what is ever the little girl's name is, I can't think of her name.
Yeah. Jasmine.
Yes.
There we are.
Jasmine. Yeah.
And you know, the other part of it is, let's speak about, you know, white privilege being used for good. Brayden came through solid as ever. And he was like, don't worry, fam. I know what these lawyers do. I did it. I run course correct. I am. And I was like, all right,
because he knows his dad has that power, that money.
He does. And, you know, salute to you, Brayden. I'm rocking with you. You got my vote. So I was so excited to dive into Power Book 2, the season finale. I'm going to skip back because we are still in Black Future Month / Black History Month. So I did vow to giving you guys a little something every week to remind y'all how special and beautiful we are. And we're not just what the media or other places may portray us to be. So shout outs to Black Enterprise. They had reported that Dennis Rodman's daughter, Trinity, has become the highest paid player in National Women's Soccer League history.
Wow.
beautiful. And when you think about Dennis Rodman's history with sports, standing for his rights, his individuality, like I'm just so happy for the queen that he has, and seeing her carrying on that torch and just being a beautiful queen. So I'll just dig a little bit deeper into the report, just to give people a little bit more background. So Trinity, daughter of Detroit Pistons and Chicago Bulls Dennis Rodman, has signed the richest player deal in the history of the NWSL. According to ESPN, Rodman, the youngest player to ever be drafted into the NWSL, has extended the initial deal she signed as a rookie last year through the 2024 season with an option for 2025. So Rodman has signed with the Spirit for 4 years, and this deal is worth more than $1.1 million, and that's not even including endorsements.
Wow.
So, get it, girl. Get it.
Especially soccer. That's big.
Get it. Like, you know what I'm saying? And as being someone that I was like heavily into soccer when I was in school, and that was like some of the best memories I had with my teammates, just seeing women carrying that on beyond like into a professional career. It's just really beautiful to see. And we're not only killing it in corporate streets, not only killing it, you know, in other places, but we're killing it in sports too. So get it, girl.
Salute.
Salute for real. Right? Because like, good looking. Now, I still value this woman as a Black queen. I see a lot of people are quiet because of the words that are around the situation. But as we all know by now, Whoopi Goldberg, she has officially been suspended with an unpaid suspension from The View for comments she made about the Holocaust. Yeah. Were you able to listen to what she actually said?
Oh, yeah.
I'm not trying to say if anybody's right or wrong, but I could see what she
got what she was saying.
And where it comes from.
What she was saying.
Yeah. The same way how Spotify gets what Joe Rogan was saying, but I don't see him, you know. Nevertheless, let me continue. So
okay, yes, let's focus on Whoopi.
Whoopi definitely let the streets know. I'm thinking of quitting. Because y'all are playing with me. Y'all are acting like I don't bring in the coins here. And it's not even the fact about the coins. Y'all know me. So why are you playing with me like that? You guys know I'm not anti-Semitic. All those things that you're trying to label me as. And similar to what I was talking about last week.
A part of the community backed her, and her network was the only one. They even said, like, make it a teachable moment.
Yep. So what are your thoughts on this whole like Whoopi Goldberg debacle and like how The View is handling it?
I don't like how it's being handled. Like I said, I understood what she said. I know you understood what she said. If there is a teachable moment, yes, let's teach each other about that. But the one thing I will say, and it's not on that, but it is between like the Jewish and Black community, how we have so much stuff that is similar. We've gone through a lot of things that we can relate to, even during the 50s, 60s, or whatever. They were discriminated against, just like we were, even here in the US. Not fun fact, but fact about Richmond. The Jewish community and the Blacks actually lived in the same area together during segregation. And the only reason I know this is, you know, I have mentioned that I converted to Judaism, and I was talking to someone who has gone through the Holocaust. He actually owns the Holocaust Museum.
So sorry, you are Jew?
Yes.
Okay, I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He has the Holocaust Museum out here in Richmond. I go to their shul, what everybody would say, synagogue. And it's funny because when I met this man, he wears a cowboy hat. So immediately I thought redneck.
Yeah.
And so what it is on 2 days a week, kids have to go to Hebrew school and learn Hebrew and just the history to get them ready for bat mitzvahs, or
Everything.
just, just to help them build and learn.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a moment where they had the older community come in with the younger kids. And I'm saying this because it was a teachable moment for me.
Yeah.
They had the older community, a lot of people who had been through the Holocaust, a lot of people who had been discriminated against. And yes, they were, as we say, Caucasian.
Yeah.
And so, me and my kids, we were the only Black, family in our community. So when the guy never talked to me during service, always stayed away from me. Like I said, he used to have the hat on, always there. And then he actually approached me. He's like, the one thing that I don't like is that we don't get along. He's like, a lot of people don't realize that we all lived in the same community and we were helping each other during, the 60s and, during the whole segregation, Jim Crow, everything. He's like, we stood together. And then he's like, where did we separate? Where did we fall apart? And he's like, I just hate that people assume because of my color that I don't relate. And he's like, I do relate. I know what's going on. I was, they did me just like they did you. They put us in this area. They discriminated against me just like they discriminated against you. And to hear his story and to hear that he lost his parents during the Holocaust, and I think an aunt found him. So he has they killed his whole family.
Yeah.
And, I think he said his aunt or his mom, one family member found him. And then that's how he ended up in the US, but he was a kid. Wow. So, to talk to him, I had a teachable moment. We all assume that, yes, Black struggle, we went through a whole lot. No, I'm not comparing what's better, what's worse than worse, but everybody has gone through stuff. And when she made the comment, it was really about race. It wasn't about ethnicity.
Facts.
She was saying that to get people to understand, but it backfired on her, because a lot of people don't look at it as race. And she was looking at it and trying to teach it towards race, but it's so much to it. And that's why we do all need to get together. We do need to learn more. I do know a little bit more about the Holocaust only, and not even because I converted. It was more so because of high school and the people that were around me, and learning from them. But yes, let's learn. No, the network is completely wrong because, like you said, with Spotify, nobody gets suspended. Or, when people say certain things, especially against us, let's have a moment, let's work it through. Let's educate. I don't think they meant it that way. Always. I don't think they meant it that way. But because she said something, how they turned it against her.
And it's just like, logically speaking, this is Black History Month. Whoopi Goldberg is Black history. And like, what a teachable moment. Like you said, they could have handled it so many different ways. They could have went on air the following week, but because of whoever the money is being funded by, or whoever is in, the head upper echelon's ears, they felt like, just cut it, So I don't wrong Whoopi Goldberg if she decides to just walk up out there and don't look back, I'm riding with her because, like you said, there's a difference between race and ethnicity. And a lot of these ignorant people that are just reacting instead of responding, they don't know their truth. They're not taking the time to learn, I don't even think more than half the people even going off even really listen to actually what she said and got the full context of that. So this is another one of these things where you've seen it being blown out of proportion. And like you said, I really hope that more and more people can just become more educated about what is happening and how we've come together or been apart throughout history, and why we're closer than maybe a lot of people don't understand.
And that's why we all need to sit and learn each other. And that's where the disconnect is, because they don't know, or they know, but they only know what they read. Or even some people who went through the, civil rights, movement, the ones that were, because there were, and that's what he was saying. A lot of Jewish people were a part of this civil rights movement. But, unless we all sit down and really talk, it's always going to consistently be a disconnect. And that's all that I always hope, is that we all understand each other. Because even with, we go back to Nick Cannon and how all the stuff that happened with Nick, it's like, if African Americans are Blacks, if we're getting it wrong, help us get it right. Talk to us. Let's talk and see where we do get, like, where we connect. Let's see where the issue is and educate us.
I agree. We're just going to slide right in, because Spotify, Joe Rogan, this news is not dying down. And like I said, which I was anticipating a couple of weeks ago, this is much a part of a larger conversation than a lot of us are really realizing, and how, depending on how this goes or how it's handled, how it can really change the lives and organizations of a lot of creators, especially Black creators. So, there was a compilation video, which is not new to me, of Joe Rogan saying the N-word or using it multiple times. So with that being now brought to the forefront from Miss India Arie, now he had put out an official apology video. I think Spotify has officially removed, I think it's either 17 or 21 of his
I think it was
episode 21 of his
episodes. It was in the 20s.
Okay. And what are your thoughts on this?
So I wasn't, of course, able to hear that one. What got me, and like we say, regardless of how you feel, if this one word, no one, okay, yes, it's a word that we can say. It's a word I don't even like using, half of the time, unless you feel like, when we use it, like while we're using it. But it's not a word that everybody's sitting around just throwing out there, But my thing was, I think what got me and kind of turned me completely off. Now, no, I don't listen to a show, but the story on when he went to watch a movie in Philly. I don't know if you heard that one.
No.
But he went to go see Planet of the Apes, and he watched it in Philly. And it was an all-Black neighborhood. And he said, I felt like I was in the jungles of Africa when I went to go see this movie. It's out there. When I listened to him joke around and tell this story, he's like, yeah, they say Black people are loud. I understand. I thought it was funny. Whatever reason you wanted to tell the story, the way you told the story, it just completely turned me off. Because to listen to you say, I felt like I was in Africa and I was in Planet of the Apes. That's what he said. And it was just like, really? Like, how do I take this? Because it's kind of hard. Where you saying, because it's all Black? Like, I know it's because of all Black people, because you were in an all Black neighborhood. But it was just like, things like this, or those comments like that, those are the comments that people think are okay. Those are the comments when people feel like they can just say anything and it's okay. And again, give them a teachable moment. Why? Like, that is not a teachable moment. You are a grown man. You know right from wrong. Like,
I just want to say these things were out prior to him getting the deal.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, because it was Planet of the Apes is like
once again we say white privilege,
So yeah, but that's what I'm talking about, those teachable moments. They get teachable moments, we get dismissed.
And that is the feed, that is what's constantly being pushed in the media, and Andrew Schultz, comedian, this is what he had to say. And I just want to read this tweet. Rogan hit job Rogan hit job started with misinformation. I remember when they started trying to tell him what he was saying wasn't true. Okay. So sorry, let me read exactly what Andrew Schultz said. So Rogan hit started with misinformation. That didn't stick. So now it's racism. Next, it will be misogyny. After that, transphobia. They are trying to make him radioactive because they fear his influence. This isn't about hate. It's about silencing a powerful man they can't control. And I do agree with that. Spotify didn't come elevating Rogan from, like, let's say where our podcast is, and saying we want to make you the next huge podcast. They seen the power he had, they seen the pull of the people they had, and they still gave him $100 million deal. Yeah. Okay. So I don't feel bad for what's happening over there at Spotify. The Spotify CEO, Daniel Ek, he says he doesn't believe silencing Joe Rogan is the answer. And I do agree. Fine. Not that I agree with him, but I agree for my own reasons, because like I said, we watched you guys propel this man. Yep. And now that he's not co-signing your guys' white agenda, and he's continuously doing what Joe has been doing, as I said, he's a very well-educated man. Just like Mike Tyson, I see them talk about things that, as I said, we could talk about over the phone, but they're going to shadow ban on the internet, straight up. That's what's happening. So while people are, as I said, yes, he used the N-word, and I'm guilty of saying a lot of things about other races and white people, and that is not me dismissing it. And I am happy that Joe Rogan has come forth and publicly apologized for those who need to hear that. I don't need to hear no white man apologize to me, because it's not changing my pockets, my living space, the laws you guys have formed against me, the privilege that I, like, you know what I'm saying? So good for who needed to hear that, which I guess that would include India Arie, but that's not getting any results, because I could still go on Joe Rogan's show and hear a lot more truth being told than a lot of y'all's platforms, you know? And it's like, moving forward in this space, what's happening in Spotify? Are we going to continue to champion who we want to champion because of the power they have, for popularity, for your stock price's sake? Or are you guys doing this because you feel it's the right thing to do? That's my question, you know?
Yeah. I mean, that's like, if you think about it, it's like Howard Stern. Everybody knew the things that he said and how loose his mouth is. Like, you know, and they knew it before they gave him a show. That was the reason, you know. That's where it's like, even again, you can give anybody a show for whatever they want. That's fine. But like you said, you can't piggyback and try to change things. You knew what you were getting yourself into. You knew the type of person that you brought onto your platform. So, you know, now that he's not siding with you guys, oh well, you know, it is what it is. Like you said, you apologize. Okay, good. Whatever. What is it going to do? It's not doing anything. But you knew who you brought on the show. Like, even when we talked back, what was the last week, right?
Mm-hmm.
You like, he said it in the beginning of everything that was going on, and now all of a sudden you want to put these, we're going to mute this or have it, you know, you like, why now? Like, what changed?
Exactly. So as we've been doing, a lot of the corporate space is very hypocritical. I just know Joe Rogan stand on the side of facts, hence why I know he wasn't apologizing really to even like apologize. Let's just be honest. He was saying it for who needed to hear it, right? So he's not, I don't think he's worrying about saving his deal. And they know if they let him go, he'll be even way more powerful. And all these other places are just quiet and waiting for him to break that deal with Spotify. Let's just be honest. Because it's a nasty world.
Or he can do it by himself.
It's not because they necessarily, exactly. So it's not even for the fact of like them being like, oh, we're on the side of right and da 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 da. It's because with or without you, this man gonna make bank and continue to do what he does. So do you want to be a part of it or not? Period. some positive news, let's lighten it up a bit. The casting for the Color Purple adaptation has finally been announced. Not that it was something like I was highly anticipating, but the Color Purple is definitely, it's Black History Month. It's one of those staple movies that, like,
yes,
girl, if you Black and you have not seen this movie, like, what are you doing with
great
your
book,
life?
great movie. Yes.
There we are. You see what I'm saying? So do you feel like they got the casting on point?
So you want my honest opinion?
Hell
When I
yes.
seen the cast, so I'm trying to figure out, and I purposely did not read further to make sure that my thoughts were right or wrong on this.
Okay.
So what type is it, a movie or a musical? I'm just
that part I'm still a bit unclear about, but I'm feeling like it may be a musical setting.
Okay, because if it's a musical, great cast.
Right. I agree. I feel like they got it on point. If they were to put it to screen, I'd appreciate it. But if it's a musical, great. I seen they got Fantasia Sealy, and I feel like that's so on point.
I think, didn't she do Color Purple before?
I feel so. I feel like
on Broadway.
That's
what I thought. She did it on Broadway.
Yeah.
So that's why when I saw Fantasia, I said, "Oh, they must be doing a play, type setup." And like I said, I saw her on there. Taraji Henson, the guy that's on The Fear of the Walking Dead. I can't think of his name right now.
Halle Bailey.
But everybody that I saw, they're great. They are great actors. They really are. So kudos to that. They're known actors. We know their faces. Everybody that was on there, I can remember. Oh, they played in this movie or did this. Like I said, great cast. As far as if it is a play, because I feel like it's going to be a play. I do. Because that's where my confusion was looking at the cast. How was it going to be a play, or were they going to like redo a movie for it, or do the live on TV? Who I know not the live on TV, but like the play that they did with Denzel Washington, and I can't even think of.
I don't know
the name of the play, but they did that on TV like that. So they did a play before, and it was on TV, and they shot it, for a couple of days. So I feel like it's going to be one of those type series.
And one of the most like heartwarming things for me, because Auntie Oprah, I call myself Oprah Martinez. So like I definitely think about when I'm gonna meet Oprah, and I know I'm about like a little baby, just like Danielle Brooks did. And like it was just
you will meet her.
I will meet Oprah Winfrey. And it was just so heartwarming to see that, and to like I seen Oprah trying to pull it together because she rich in things, but I seen that the effect it was kind of having on her to just even feel like you're still touching us Black girls out here. We see you, we love you, we appreciate what you've done for us, regardless of what is in the media space. And Danielle Brooke, like I was just, as I go back to the casting, a lot of these women, I know that they had either just gotten married or they have literally just given birth to children, So I'm like also looking at casting and just being like, those women, I know what that did for them and how beautiful that must have been to be like, I'm still getting booked out here, even though these changes have happened in my life. So I'm excited to see how that comes out. And it was just like,
one more thing about
magic all around. Yeah.
And I was going to say that because Alice Walker, it was a book that she wrote.
Yes.
Even when they made the movie, they doubted the movie and how like great that movie would be. So, that was one of those Black History Month moments. That's what I wanted. With the, just, the movie is actually based off a Black author and, how they doubted how much, people would really like this movie. And to this day, it's like, you have to be Black and have seen The Color Purple.
Straight up. Straight up. Kanye and Kim, I'm gonna pedal back, because I know at first I was like, And I still do feel that way. I'm not advocating for families to be turned and ripped apart from each other, you know. But a lot has been happening in the media, and it's really hard to watch. I seen someone put in the comment section, you know, every day, moments like this, I appreciate Beyonce's privacy more and more. And it's just like, I'm not going to say who's right or wrong. They're both doing inflammatory things, you know. But once again, there's more updates and more disrespectfulness just happening. And I really just want to send love and light out there to both parties and both their teams, because Kimberly had enough. She took to her iPhone notes and she said, this is what I have to say. And then she threw in her little shade at the end, you know, with the whole third lawyer in a year situation. And he threw his shade with this whole being, this is my first divorce, you know. I hear, like, everything I hear people say kind of is right, you know. It's not fair that North is being, like, her business is being put on blast like this. And, like, I do agree that, you know, the internet, certain age, whatever, I'm not really keen on a young child, you know, being a part of that environment so early, regardless of how much the world may try to, like, pressure that and normalize it. But, you know, I really just hope and wish that they can work this out peacefully. It's not entertaining for me when I talk about it. It's just because literally we've never seen a Black billionaire that we have really been raised with go through this publicly. So it's not something that we can necessarily, like, ignore, you know, but it's very real. It's growing up, Black community, hood, all of that. We've seen so many situations like this happen. And I don't want to feel like Kim is trying to be, you know, that white woman that's trying to ruin the Black man's life. And I don't want Kanye to be that, like, guy, as you spoke about. You said it, when a woman is done, she's done. And it's like, I'm pretty sure she had a lot of things to say and you weren't really listening to her till now. She's like, bro, I'm not even playing with you no more. Like, we're done. Like, so what are your thoughts on just everything that's been happening, or, like, wise words of, like, you know, some advice you could shut out there?
So as far as with the TikTok and
Yeah.
everything, I can say I side with Kanye on this. I do. I do feel like it's an appropriate age, especially with me having, you know, two kids. Even with my son, it was like, no, you can't get on the internet until you're that age. Whatever that age is, that's the age that you get on. You know, I understand if she monitored the account, you know, if it was her doing the account, but to say this is how she expresses herself, what, she's a baby. Let's not do that. She is a baby. Regardless of how much money you guys have, she's a baby. Like you said, it's hard to get a Beyonce it's hard to get them twins, you know. Won't see them on social media. Like in Blue, like when I see those pictures pop up, I'm trying to see the source and where they got them from, because they don't have a page. You know, you got the fake pages, you know, the fake Beyonce pages for the kids, but let a kid be a kid. You know, you can't get mad that and this is just me saying my opinions, when the paparazzis are all in the kid's face trying to take the pictures, but you're letting them, you know, because they're going to think, oh, let me get on camera. Oh, let me get on camera. No, like, enjoy being a kid, enjoy playing with your friends. Don't think because now you're, you know, letting this kid know this is how we make money. This is what we do, you know. But as a parent, teachable moment, these are the times that you two get together and do what's best for the kid. And if you two don't agree, then sorry, honey, me and your dad cannot agree on this. So as of for now, you are not allowed to do this. And that's where the issues are, because I heard the comments about, well, I'm the custodial parent. See, that's the stuff we talked about before. The control, that whole control thing.
Yeah.
So these are moments when you come together as parents. Yes, you two are getting a divorce. No, we don't want to see it, but you two need to somehow come together for your kids, because
Yes.
while you two are going back and forth, you're hurting your kids. You are.
Yes.
Because guess what? You're on TV. They see it.
Yes.
It's not something that they don't see. And they're at the age where they're going to remember. So please
Yes.
know that they are at the age where they remember. And when they shut down, just remember these moments may be the cause of shutdown. Kids do it. Trust me. I know.
And y'all don't get mad at me saying this, but I'm gonna say this because it's my truth. You know, growing up, when I really think about all the mixed kids that I know growing up, and if the dad is black and the mom is white, I've seen the dad just kind of like back up and just let the white mom do whatever because of all the fears they may have, the power they lack, or knowing that the law is continuously in the woman's favor, much less a white woman's favor, right? So seeing Kanye in this position, he's able to speak up for himself. There ain't nobody really like that would hurt me. I don't know if Kanye is still taking opioids or heroin, however, what people are trying to say, you know what I mean? But that would really hurt me now if like I'm going to go see my kid and you're getting me drug tests to come see me. Like, come on, Kim. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm
That
saying?
that that got me. That's why I said
Because
this,
it's like when
like
we were
this
doing the
topic,
drugs
I'm on
together,
him.
you
Yeah.
never had no issues. And that's the part nobody really wants to talk about. But as I said, I'm not choosing any sides because at the end of the day, that's her mom, that's her dad, and they're going to be stuck together forever, whether they want to be or not, you know? So I'm just sending love and light that way. And Jesus, fix it, please. Hallelujah.
Fix the
Please.
will.
Please, 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 please. Eat fruit, mind your business. Okay.
Eat fruit and mind your business.
So now, you know, I look too good for this necklace. And I look too good to be reckless. You know, I look way too good to be reckless. I'm conceited. I got a reason. You know, shout outs, reminisce. Remy Ma. I'm so happy for her because I'm not gonna lie. She is now introduced. Let me not get too excited. Remy Ma has introduced a new rap battle league called Chrome 23. And I'm so happy for her. And like, you know, you see someone drop a business like idea or something they're into. And like when I seen it, it was announced how she's rolling it out. I was like, yes, 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 yes. Because what many people don't know, the younger generation doesn't really tend to do too much research, is that is where Remy like started. She was rap battle, queen in that shit, killing it. You know what I mean? That's even where a lot of that like Lady Luck beef and all that comes from, because she was like doing her thing, right? Now moving back, I just want to say this really made me happy because since she's been out, I'm not gonna lie, as a hardcore fan of hers, I felt like she wasn't really giving what needed to be gave. Got caught up in this Nicki whirlwind, trying to, and I get it, you just came out of the bin, you have to adapt to new life, you have to adapt to social media, all these things happening. And I feel like finally now this seems like something she's really thought about putting her footing in. And this is something I can definitely see working for her long term, crushing it. The rap battle scene it's a space that like I'm learning to love more and more, and seeing women champion in that space is just so beautiful. Like there's nothing more that like I love this, seeing women like rap beer bars. And like while the male rap battles are sick and the energy, we see that all the time. When I see the females, it's like so lit and they're just going, and you know, rap battles real. You know, so I'm really excited to support her. Chrome 23. What are your thoughts on Remy Ma having Chrome 23 and this rap battle league?
I'm excited. I've always, like you said, I've always been a Remy Ma fan. I always felt like during that time, she was like the only female rapper that was like, you could not touch Remy Ma when she came out. And it was like, who is this woman? She didn't care. She, you know, stood up to the next man. She did not care. She had this rough interior, you know, and even when she went to jail, I was hurt when she went and how she went, you know, I was like, really, this is what we're doing, you know, even though she was wrong for what she did, I just felt like more could have been done.
Facts.
And like you said, when she came out, even with the Nicki beef, I felt like they shouldn't have pulled her record, regardless of, the music or, how she pulled it, because her ether was hot.
Who?
I can't, like, when I heard it, it was like, really, this is what we're doing. We're gonna pull it because it's hot.
Well,
It's hot.
it's a money thing.
I
Queens,
know,
the whole
I
beef.
know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
So it was just like, when I remember when it came, I think like as soon as it came out, everybody was out there ready to listen. So if you guys don't know who Remy Ma is, you definitely will know after this. I'm excited because I feel like it's not going to be staged. It's going to be real because she's a real MC.
Yeah.
So it's not like, and she's going to be real. So
Yeah.
I'm excited because I get to see
There's
real
no
hip-hop.
room for fakeness in the rap battle scene.
It's not.
And that's the beautiful part of it. Yeah.
I'm excited. Because now we're going to be introduced to some women who we don't know. And we're about to get some real hip hop coming back. So I'm excited.
And like, oh my gosh, why is her name slipping me? Because I love her too. From Making the Band. She has her own rap battle league as well.
Bambi?
I think it
Bam. No, it's Bam. It's Bam.
Right?
I was thinking of other chick, but
and she has her own rap battle league. But as I said, this is something that I seen. This is where Remy Ma came from. This is like her playground, So I'm excited to see her give that energy. As I said, we're gonna get to now see a whole range of females. Yep. As I've been saying, I've been searching. I'm looking like, where y'all at? And I'm just excited for that. So I'm championing that. I'm definitely gonna watch all the battles, subscribe, and support that movement because it's going to be huge. You think Nicki may pop up at one of the rap battles?
Nah.
Eat fruit and mind your business.
Mind your business. Boom, boom, boom.
So Nicki, she's on a rollout, Miss Minaj, and she's coming. I feel like she's back into her thing. She spent some time with Papa Bear, and she's back out here in the field, and she's starting off with her new record she just dropped along with her album, Do We Have a Problem? Do We Have a Problem? What did you think of the record, the video?
I didn't see, I listened. I'm not a big Nicki fan, but I do like her work.
Am I a Nicki fan? Put up in a monster all up a build.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not came from Sri Lanka.
Like I said, I'm saying this because I'm not a barb. I'm not.
Bother you. Keep going.
But I listen to her music. Yes. I love like her play of words. I love her play of words and how she puts things together. So it's not that I'm not anti Nicki. No, I got Nicki on my phone, but I love her music. Yeah. But as far as I haven't I'll do the downloads, but I won't do a whole album. So I've never sat through a whole Nicki album. I'll say that. But I love her music. I like the new music. Like you said, she's been sitting. I know the people are ready for Nicki to come back. I know as far as what's going on as far as female rappers, yes, I can do a little Nicki right now. I'm very supportive of her right now because
it's dry out here.
I'm not what's going on right now in the streets as far as us. Yes, we do need to come back in. So I'm ready for it. How did you feel about it?
I'll say, I have my type of Nicki, and I feel like she knows the type of Nicki that we want from her. But for whatever reason, she puts out certain things first. Nevertheless, I will say this was a solid record. I could hear it being played on the radio. I love the video. It had Tommy in there, Joshua Sikora from Power, Lil Baby. It was a dope little concept, everything like that. So that was probably all a little money grab as well. Who knows? But the record was dope. And, I do notice that Nicki, it seems like she has been selective and pivotal in who she's been choosing to do these features with.
I will say that, yes.
And she has been doing it with a lot of young kings. We see NBA YoungBoy, we see Rainbow Head Boy, I'm not saying his name. We see Lil Baby, Playboy Cardi, and the list goes on and on. So I do know that she definitely does have a tactic to what she's doing, right? And there was a clip with I think it was her herself explaining why Gunna had asked her to be on P Power and she had turned it down. And I think that's how Drake ended up getting on the record to kind of like still make it come through. Mm-hmm. And she was just speaking on like, I know it's not the first time she's mentioned it on her writer's block, and just getting back to that self of her and feeling herself in the records again. So as someone that's definitely experienced writer's block, not in terms of a 16, but doing other things, I'm happy that she's finding herself again. And despite everything that's going on in her personal life, she's still finding a way to hopefully be authentic with herself in her music. Now, the part that everyone's raving for, including myself, was the snippet at the end of her video, Do We Have a Problem?, which is featuring a new record called Bussin'. And that is the Nicki that I'm like, yes, that is what I need. That is what I require. That is what is the assignment, right? So I feel like the Barbs have bullied her enough, and that record is supposed to be dropping soon. So I am excited to hear the full version of it and see what that does, you know? Because I just, as I said, she's been throwing out a lot of loosies and stuff, but it hasn't been, we haven't gotten that one yet, you know? Mm-hmm. Some of them I do feel like if people were in better terms with her, there wasn't so much politics, they would have pushed it further, because Yikes was an amazing record to me. I don't know why it didn't do better than it was. Her Queen album, to this day, I still play it top to bottom. It has a lot of huge records on there, and I'm unclear about why, as I said, it's not as doing as well as I thought it would, but please correct me if I'm wrong, you know?
No, you aren't. No, you aren't, because even when you said how she selectively picks the people that she was, features with, when she does that, if you notice, that is the person that is on the charts at that time, consistently on the radio. So she knows what she's doing. Like every time that, like, they're all on there, even the person we don't want to mention. Think about it. He was on the radio everywhere. So that would have been that was the perfect opportunity. Her marketing is great. So if you have great marketing tactics on how to get out there, again, like you said, why aren't you getting the plays? And that's the one thing I will say about Nicki, is that I noticed that now, not before Nicki, whatever is going on, whatever happened, you can tell and see that something happened, because she doesn't get the push like she used to.
Facts. And I do agree on that. So the last of what we had to discuss this week, some new music dropped, and I just want to let you guys know, if you're still tuning in for Downtown Sound this week we don't have any Downtown Sound. So no need to switch back over to audio, or you can listen if you're working out, etc. Thank you for the support in advance. But new music, a lot of new music has dropped, but I will say the 2 Chainz album has dropped. Did not listen to it yet, but I'm sure it has some good records on there. 2 Chainz, aka Titty Boy, he's been doing this rap thing for a very long time. And my only complaint with 2 Chainz, and I'm not gonna hold you, is just the value of what he's given. Like, it's kind of like even with Fabulous. I get it. You can talk that talk, but now you're kind of in your grown man stage. I know you got a wife. I know you got a huge family. I want to hear you. Not that I'm requiring a 444 from every grown man. You know what I mean? But give me something a little bit more. Give me something a little bit more. Are you a 2 Chainz fan? Are you going to be listening to that album?
So it's so funny how you introduced him, because that's always my Titty Boy, aka 2 Chainz. That is always my intro when it comes to because a lot of people don't realize how long he's been on the scene. I'm going to definitely listen. I do like 2 Chainz. Like you said, there's definitely going to be hits on there. So there's going to be stuff that we'll be hearing on the radio, in the like clubs. I I'm happy that you made the point as far as maturing, because
Yes.
I think for us, but then we have to think of trying to stay relevant. You know, there aren't a lot of Jay-Z's out there. So some people have to stay at this level in order to stay relevant, where
Mm,
Jay-Z can elevate and
mm,
still continue to stay relevant. So that's where I guess I'm interested to hear, because I can't remember the last album that he had, but I'll mention the what is it? Pretty Girls Like Trap Music or whatever it
yeah.
was. I can't. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, keeping with the trap thing, of course. The whole down south thing,
Like
trap
we get
music,
it.
I
Y'all got
get it.
traps. We get
Yeah,
it. Like,
we get it.
yeah, yeah.
So, but let's see what you can do, especially with the way rap is changing. So
Yeah.
let's see what you can do. Let's see if you can stay relevant. I'm hoping that it's a good album. I'm excited to see who's going to be featured on it, because of
Yeah.
course we're going to have features on it. So I'm ready for it.
I didn't want to listen to it with the hype. And as I said, a lot of new music came out. So I've just been really taking that in. Yo Gotti also dropped, I think, a part A and a part B album. So I haven't quite dove into that yet. Like I said last week, it's a little bit hard because I can't help but feel like who he's talking about when he's saying certain things, but it's not
Gotcha.
my personal like beef. So what I will say is that, when I do hear a record from Yo Gotti and I'm able to get into it, I be
Hmm.
fucking with what he's saying. A lot of people have said like really good, great things about this project that
Hmm.
came out. So I still don't want to give it this high level of expectation, but I'm definitely looking forward to hearing it and seeing what
Okay.
game he had to offer, because that is one of those artists, that has matured along with what he's talking about. And he does give game and things of that nature on the entrepreneurial side. And it's not just
Hmm.
about like money phones and doing drugs. Your thoughts on Yo Gotti? Will you be like checking out that album?
That probably, whatever I hear with Yo Gotti is what I listen to.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not gonna be, oh, let me download. No, whatever. If I hear something on the radio while I'm driving, or if I see people on the internet post, that's with Yo Gotti. Honestly, that's the only time I will give him any play, is from what the streets say. So if the streets ain't
Right.
talking, I ain't gonna be listening.
Right. Yeah. And it's just like, I mean, every track he's had with Nicki, like I love
Hmm.
straight anthems. So I will give him that. And I do love his beat selection. So that is something
Yeah.
I also do appreciate. Like I'm one of those listeners of hip hop, whereas like you can get me with the beat. I'm a lover of a wicked beat, hence why I love
Yeah.
producers like Jay Dilla or The Alchemist and things like that. But that's a poly in itself. Um, I think that would be it for fruit salad this week.
Okay.
We did
Oh,
it. We did it.
we
Was there
did it.
any last
We
things
did it.
that you like wanted to say about new music or anything we discussed, or how you just want to like leave out this week?
Oh no. I'm happy this week. Next week you all may see me in a different location. Maybe we'll see. Um, so I'm excited. I enjoyed it. Happy Black Future History, as you say, and Black
Yes.
History Month. Um, Continue. Let's research. Let's look up something educational. Let's learn something new. This year, this month, about
Yes.
someone that you didn't know. Like I said, I mentioned Alice Walker. Look up, you know, her and find the info on why she created the color purple. I don't know. Let's have the
No, I
teachable
will
moment.
look her up because I'm not a reader. I was definitely a movie person, but
And
I
see,
know
I'm
it
a
was
reader.
based on a book.
Yeah.
So I definitely like, and everybody will always say the book was better than the movie. So I'm definitely going to look
It
into it.
always. Yes. Yes. I am an
Yes.
avid reader. So yeah. Let's read.
Let's read for real, for real. Even though when I joined those groups in school, initially I joined like Red Robin and like
Well,
Scholastic
I
book
was the
reading group
high
and all
school
of that.
president in high school. I
Oh,
was
you
the
were annoying as
president of
fuck.
the book club of
I
the book.
joined that shit because I knew there was a piece of lunch at the end. And, your girl was all
No.
about the food. And then when I dove into it, I was able to get into beautiful series like Harry Potter and things like that, and really was able to admire reading and find things and realize, oh, reading doesn't always have to be boring, and, you know, just being introduced to that world in a better way.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's read this week, guys. I actually am reading a book. I don't have it beside me, but I can let you guys know what I've been diving into this week. It's a bit heavy, but it's a powerful book. So I'll share that next week. And I want to say, you know, continue to celebrate your Blackness. Like I told you guys, I want you guys to, you see a Black person out there, just give a random compliment. I was at the grocery store this weekend when I was getting my items to make my soup, and I seen this Black lady, and she had like, you could tell she, you know, when a Black girl gets her hair freshly single braided, all parts, everything grease licking, okay? She had the sister locks in her hair. She was with her son, and I was like, your hair looks amazing. Aww. And literally, she wasn't wearing a mask, and the smile I seen come on her face, like, I was just like, get it, girl. I was looking like hot trash, probably like, who's this homeless Black girl telling me about I look good, but thanks, you know, but I know who I am within, so I don't care how you look.
I'm thinking about you this weekend and the snow. So I'm sorry. So girl, I had that.
It's like, the snow is just horrid. I need it to go, or I need to catch a plane real quick. So with that being said, I'll say thank you guys for locking in with us for another week's episode of Eat Fruit Pod. Eat fruit, mind your business, okay? And I'm wishing you guys nothing but love and light, because we need it more than ever right now. Dear Lord.